I request you all to take a very comfortable posture wherever you're sitting, may it be on a floor, on a chair, or on a sofa. Simply crossing your hands, fingers into fingers, crossing your legs, and by gently closing your eyes. Let us all become aware of our breath. Become aware of our simple, soft, tender, tranquil breath. Practice of meditation is nothing but spending some time with our own self, to realize our own self, to discover more about our own self. The more we sit in silence, silence of words, silence of actions, silence of thoughts, the more deeper we know about ourselves. Actions, words, and thoughts should be dropped. We have with us our own breath. We are equipped with our breath. Let us use this tool to reach to the depth of our own self in utter silence. So just be with your breath, friends. There will be some soft music that will help you to disconnect yourself from the outside world and to remind you to be with your breath. For 15 minutes, let us stay all together. The great intention to connect and to know more about ourselves. Last 2 minutes, masters. Last 1 minute. Last 30 seconds. Last 10 seconds. Now slowly place your both hands over your eyes for a few seconds. And whenever you are ready, you may remove your hands and gently open your eyes. So, welcome back, friends. I hope you all have enjoyed the meditation. Those who wish to continue meditating, you be in that state by closing your eyes. So, as a part of Gurus of India series, yesterday Ram had shared about Master Osho. Today we will get to know about who Master Ramana is, who Sri Ramana is. So, Sri Ramana Maharshi was born on 30th December 1879 near Madurai, Tamil Nadu. In the year 1896, at the age of 16, he left home for Arunachala, a sacred mountain at Tiruvannamalai. He spent 10 years living in temples and caves, meditating and pursuing spiritual purification, keeping the disciplines of silence and non attachment. In the year 1899, young Maharshi moved up onto the Arunachala and stayed in Virupaksha cave. He used to ask the fundamental questions about identity, such as, who am I? The great sage mostly sat in silence, giving darshan with a piercing yet loving gaze. So, this is in short about Ramana Maharshi. Let us go much further into the detail of who Master Ramana is. So, Venkataramana was born on 30th December 1879 near Madurai, Tamil Nadu. His father was a farmer. He was second of the three sons. Ramana had a marked inclination towards introspection and self analysis. He used to ask fundamental questions about identity, such as the question, who am I? He was always seeking to find the answer to the mystery of his own identity and origins. Summer of 1896, he had a profoundly transformative experience that left him, and many who would meet him subsequently changed forever. Ramana went into an altered state of consciousness, which had a profound effect on him. He experienced what he understood to be his own death and later returned to life. He had spontaneous flashes of insight where he perceived himself as an essence independent of the body. During these events, He felt himself to be an eternal entity, existing without reliance on the physical body or material world. Having fully realized the self, he was now compelled by a mysterious inner call to leave his school, family, and childhood home to take up residence at the feet of holy Arunachala, never to leave its presence again for the rest of his earthly life. Ramana heard the name Arunachala in his early childhood. He came to have a fascination with the word Arunachala, which carried associations of deep reverence and a sense that his destiny was closely intertwined with this unique sound. In the year 1896, at the age of 16, he went in search of it. He went to Arunachala at Tiruvannamalai, and this brought him great happiness. Ramana was nearing the end of high school when a careless criticism describing him as a person not fit to be a student jerked him into making a final decision to leave the school. He had been reading a book on famous Tamil saints and resolved to leave home and lead the life of a religious seeker. Naturally, he planned to go to Arunachala, the place which was the focal point of all religious ideals. Ramana left for Arunachala. Arriving after 4 days of train travel, he went directly to the central shrine at the temple and addressed Lord Shiva, stating he had given away everything and come to Arunachala in response to his call. Ramana spent 10 years living in temples and caves meditating and pursuing spiritual purification, keeping the disciplines of silence and non attachment. In the year 1899, young Bhagwan moved up onto the hill, staying at Virupaksha cave, situated beneath an immense megalithic rock on the eastern slope. This cave takes the shape of the sacred Om. Virupaksha cave is the epicenter of Arunachala's glory, and over the centuries, great yogis and rishis have come to do sadhana within its hallowed walls. Like them, young Sri Ramana came under the cave's magnetic influence and came to stay. In the early days, the young Swami lived virtually alone, but gradually people began to take notice of him. A mysterious and irresistible force seemed to overwhelm them as they saw what looked like eternity shining from his eyes. One by one they came, some for short visits, others for longer stays, and still others who would remain with him for the rest of their lives. Early disciples had a difficult time learning about Ramana's background and even his native language because he was silent and refused to speak. As time passed, he ceased his ascetic phase and began to live a more normal life in an ashram setting. Many people from all over India and other countries used to go to visit him with a variety of problems. In the year 1911, the first Westerner ever to visit Ramana had a profound experience and made an equally profound observation. He says, "For half an hour, I looked into the Maharshi's eyes. For half an hour, I looked into the Maharshi's eyes, which never changed their expression of deep contemplation. I began to realize somewhat that the body is the temple of the Holy Ghost. I could only feel his body was not the man, it was the instrument of God, merely a sitting, motionless corpse from which God was radiating terrifically. But the silent power which attracted them also had its effect on other creatures living on the mountain. Many animals of the hills, such as squirrels, pigeons, parrots, wild cats, deers, as well as the numerous monkey tribes that lived in that area, were all drawn to him. Once, devotees got a fright when a leopard and a tiger approached and played together in front of the cave. The young sage mostly sat in silence, giving darshan with a piercing, penetrating, yet loving gaze. In these early days, he was known as Brahmana Swami. Around this time, a devotee named Kandaswami began construction of a small ashram. It was situated in a hollow, a little way up from Virupaksha, at a place where Bhagwan Ramana had earlier discovered a perennial spring, Skandashram, as it came to be called, would serve as Bhagwan's home for the next 6 years. Skandashram was the center of life on the hill, like the garden at Virupaksha. Skandashram provided a place of refuge, sustenance, and serenity. One Friday in May 1922, Mother Alagammal attained Mahanirvana at Skandashram and was buried at the foot of the mountain's southern slope. In time, a thatched roof was erected over her samadhi, and Bhagwan regularly came down from Skandashram to visit. 6 months later, a week before his birthday celebrations, Bhagwan came down for his regular visit to the samadhi but didn't return to Skandashram. No one knew the reason at the time, but later Bhagwan revealed that on that morning when he came out of Skandashram, an irresistible power dragged him down the hill. He even forgot that the residents were waiting for him back at Skandashram to have their meal. This day marked the birth of Sri Ramana Ashram. In due course, Ramana's well-wishers constructed the full-fledged ashram, a temple, and space to accommodate many visitors. All took part of the same food, and Ramana sat with the rest of the people during meals and did not expect special treatment. Many sheds were constructed, and devotees began to come and stay. Sri Bhagwan was now more accessible for the townspeople, and they took full advantage of the opportunity to have his darshan. Ramana was able to demonstrate his stand on non attachment. When thieves broke into the ashram, and he counseled the disciples and visitors to let them have anything they wanted. He remained calm during the incident, even when struck by one of the thieves. Bhagwan gave human devotees a potent sadhana to practice compassion and empathy for all the creatures. He spoke about how one could discover the intelligence in animals if one was patient enough to get to know them. Bhagwan said, animals are endowed with the same Atman, same divinity that dwells in the human beings. Bhagwan spoke on behalf of his animal friends and demanded the same rights for them as were enjoyed by his human devotees. He drove home the idea that no one, no one, regardless of what skin they might be wearing, should be deprived of his darshan. Slowly, the disciples began to understand that Bhagavan's animal friends were also his devotees and as dear to him as anyone else. At the end of the year 1948, doctors discovered a peanut sized tumor growth on Bhagwan's left elbow. By the spring of 1949, it had grown into a tumor the size of a small lemon. By and by, the doctors realized that they were not able to do much. One day, two devotees sitting behind the stone sofa in the new hall were sobbing in anguish as they had come to know that the tumor on Bhagwan's arm was malignant. Sri Bhagwan responded gently, saying, where can I go? Where is it possible for me to go? The body is like a banana leaf. on which all kinds of delicious food have been served. After we have eaten the food from it, do we take the banana leaf and preserve it? Do we not throw it away now that it has served its purpose? Who is to carry this load of a body even after it needs assistance in everything? Do you expect me to carry this load that it would take 4 men to carry? Suppose you go to a firewood depot and buy a bundle of firewood and engage a coolie to carry it to your house. As you walk along with him, he will be anxiously looking forward to his destination so that he can throw off his burden and get relief. In the same way, the Gnani is anxious to throw off his mortal body. I want to repeat this again, friends. He says, where can I go? Where is it possible for me to go? The body is like a banana leaf on which all kinds of delicious food have been served. After we have eaten the food from it, do we take the leaf and preserve it? Do we not throw it away now that it has served its purpose? Who is to carry this load of a body even after it needs assistance in everything? Do you expect me to carry this load that it would take 4 men to carry? Suppose if you go to a firewood depot and buy a bundle of firewood and engage a coolie or a servant to carry it to your house. As you walk along with him, he will be anxiously looking forward to his destination so that he can throw off his burden and get relief. In the same way, the Gnani is anxious to throw off his mortal body. Ramana Maharshi vacated the physical garment on 14th April 1950, sitting in lotus position. The final words that passed from his lips was the sacred syllable Om. So the source is from Ramana Maharshi and the Path of Self-Knowledge, friends, by Arthur Osborne. So this is the second master that we have listened to, and what a wonderful master. And we happened to go to his ashram in Tiruvannamalai, and we could really feel his presence and his words. Who am I? Whoever goes to him, that was his question to everybody. Who are you? So that was stuck in my ears all through the stay in Tiruvannamalai. Such a wonderful master with simplicity and with teaching non-attachment and silence, emphasizing more on silence. These masters don't have to do anything. They just simply do. And with that doing, with that being, one can understand and one can learn what these masters or these gurus are conveying. So the main message of Ramana Maharshi is to understand who you are. So it should be all our quest to know who we are truly, in essence. So thank you so much, friends, for listening. And if there is anybody who wants to share anything, you can just go ahead and unmute yourself, please. Or if you have simply enjoyed, that is also fine. If there is anybody who have heard about Ramana Maharshi before, you can raise your hands. Yeah, wonderful. Okay. Is that raising hand is for talking or yeah. Madhvi, you can just go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, Madhu. It's so beautiful how you read. I'm very fascinated when you read the books. I'm like, your energies are so much. And even the meditation was very nice. I was, my eyes again filled with precious water, I would say now. Yes. It's just a beautiful and cheerful water, I would say, not the painful. yeah, the meditation was really good. I was just gone away the moment you sat and the moment I was sitting, and it's gone. Yes, I've been to the Ramana Maharshi ashram as well.
Mm.
And I even I had this question always, who I am and what I am, where should I go, that this and the truth. I mean, whenever we call, I mean, I want to show the truth. I was always false. I was always got the scoldings. You should never talk the truth, or you should not say boldly about the truth, because the truth is so strong. And people cannot, like if somebody dies, and I cannot just say, he has died, but it was a truth. So these kind of a thing, it was so hard for me to learn how this truth can be delivered or how it can be shown. And always these questions, always I had. But after coming to the meditation and after coming and learning from the different masters, after visiting this Ramana Maharshi ashram also, I got all my questions answered actually. What are we? And I also always, like, it's been 15 years in Germany. I always think that, where am I? Why did I come so far? Like, is it's cold? And what should I do? What did I do wrong to come and have this punishment kind? Like, this is the perception I had all the time. But what I need to learn and what I need to provide or need to give, I'm slowly understanding that purpose also. It's really it's so beautiful that the great masters give us so much to get inside our journey, to know about ourselves, not to understand our journey, like the eternal path and the eternal happiness and joy. It's really beautiful. Yes. Thank you so much, Madhu. Thank you. It's a really great, great masters. And it's a
Thank you.
great master you are reading. I
Thank you.
always cherish you. I love you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So yes, friends, um, the final words of Ramana Maharshi when I was reading this article was really amazing, isn't it? The metaphors that he had used about the banana leaf or the servant. So why we don't think like that? So why we want to hold on to our loved ones all the time? So why we want to keep them with us all the time? When it is their time to leave, we should give them a good farewell. So when Patriji also vacated his body, so I think this was the great lesson that we have learned from Patriji as well, about no death, and death is only for the physical body. There is much more. So yes, friends, I really loved this metaphor, and this is the first time for me to read from this perspective about the banana leaf and the servant. So yes, Dr. Lingeshwari Garu, yes, it's really a wonderful place Tiruvannamalai is, and one should visit the ashram, and the food that is cooked over there, Annadana, where in the afternoon, where the food will be served for everybody. Like that food is so divine, and the food that cooked with the meditativeness, it tastes really good. It nourishes not only to the body, also to the soul. Yeah, wonderful. So anybody else, friends? So I request you to keep reading books of Ramana Maharshi. Yesterday we have read about Osho. Ram read about Osho. So there are so many books about Osho. There are so many books about Ramana Maharshi. So we should keep reading these masters' books. So it's like we get closer to our own self the more we read as well. So yes, Ram, just go ahead.
Namaste, everyone. So I got to know about Ramana Maharshi from one of the books I read, The Secret Search in India by Paul Brunton. and that somehow pulled me. And then we have visited in the next trip to India, Ramana Maharshi Ashram, Tiruvannamalai, and Skanda Cave. So it was a wonderful journey. And what is more connecting to me listening to his journey today is about two things. One is how he spoke about animals. So he said they are the same. They are the same. So you cannot distinguish between humans and look at animals differently. No, you have to look at animals as you look any other being, including humans. So this is such a powerful statement, powerful sharing from his life to all of us, to whole humanity, that we need to look at every animal being, every fish being, every bird being. And we have to take care like we take care our own family. When a great Maharshi himself, he says that allow them just like you allow my any other devotee. He's just saying that they are as dear to me as every other devotee. So we have to take care of every animal being as we take care of every other family member or a friend. This is such a important thing that we all need to connect to. We all need to let the whole human kingdom realize this, because it is important. It is the very basic thing that we have to do. And the second thing was the common thing of yesterday's journey from Master Osho and today's from Ramana Maharshi, the death and what we learn about death. And he spoke through two examples using the banana leaf and also the coolie, the servant who carry the logs to your home. So understanding death is beautiful. I'm sure we will learn more and more as we go through all these master stories. And this is what we have to, we will in our journey understand even much deeper, connect to these realities, that death is not the end, but death is a beautiful transition. Death should be indeed a celebration. So thanks a lot, Madhu, and thanks everyone here for participating. Feel free to share your views, feel free to talk about your learnings, feel free to speak more and more, because it is even everyone's connection to that master's wisdom. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Ram.
Thank
Just
you,
a
Madhuji.
minute.
Yeah, thank you very much for reading to us. Yeah, Ramana Maharshi, after coming to this meditation, I'm like more and more connecting to him. And whenever there is example of silence, I use Ramana Maharshi and, then get more knowledge. Yeah, silence is more important. Silence communicates so many things in a loving way, right? Just you look at a person, they are asking something that shows the answer. So yeah, I started be more mindful of Ramana Maharshi and try to be silent. And yeah, yet to learn more. Yeah, once I've been to Arunachal to visit Ramana Maharshi ashram, but during the COVID time, it was closed. So, but it was amazing to see those temples where he meditated and, where he went. I could imagine how his journey those days and how he connected to those temples. So yeah, beautiful, amazing, all the examples that you mentioned and Ram Garu mentioned. This banana leaf is so, yeah, it's first time I'm listening from this article. So beautiful, beautiful, ma'am. Thank you very much. Yeah, looking forward to learn from each and every master's life journey. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Vannaji. Beautiful. So yes, the banana leaf we will never forget, because as there will be so many variety of foods on the banana leaf. The variety of foods are nothing but the life experiences that we have in everyone's life. So after it's done, then we have to close it, and done, that's finished. So yeah, the beautiful example. And yes, Ramana Maharshi, always whenever we think about Ramana Maharshi, silence and this question, who am I? Wonderful. So thank you so much for sharing. Yes, Maltiji.
Yeah, we give so much of importance to our appearance and our physical appearance, how our body should be, and how proportionate it should be and perfect. But in that process, sometimes we forget about our soul. And we forget to do the same thing, the same kind of love and affection given to the soul, because the soul never dies.
Mm-hmm.
It just passes on from one body to another body till all its experiences, until it has experienced everything that has to be experienced in life. So that is one of the lessons. He is also talking about the banana leaf. Yeah, we have sad experience, we have happy experience, we have all sorts of painful experiences in life, but the soul had to go through that.
Mm.
The soul chooses to go through that.
Yeah.
And we have to, in a humble manner, we have to accept it. That is my view. In a humble manner, we have to accept it. For example, when my husband passed away, I didn't feel like crying because I know he lives on. His soul lives on. Okay, he might have left this body, but he has gone. He's traveling into another body for another type of experience. So I never felt like crying.
Mm.
People wondered why she's. I mean, I might be sad for myself because physically he's not there to talk to, or to have a banter with. But otherwise, I never felt that sadness inside.
Mm.
I was able to pass him on to the next stage of his life.
Mm. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Maltiji, for coming up and sharing your personal experience. It's a very bad notion that people have in their minds, that only if we cry, that means we love for that person. If we are not crying, that means there is a greater understanding we have towards that situation. That's why we are not crying. So very happy that you could able to do that, and you are able to. Thank you for sharing it with all of us, so that like it will help everyone. Thank you so much, Maltiji.
Thank you, Madhu.
Yeah.
I like to add one thing. I read one book called Be As You Are from Ramana Maharshi. It is really, really great. And what he quotes generally is, our own self-realization is the greatest service we can render to the world.
Mm.
So this is a very beautiful book. And I also took a few book reading sessions based on this book. It's very beautiful, especially when he says about the self, and also about the silence, and about the meditation and yoga in this book. It's really, really beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madhvi. Thank you for adding. Yes. The moment you are realized, that's it. You are giving a great service to the entire universe. So through your presence, there is a change that is happening around. So first self-realization. The moment you realize yourself, then your presence itself will make others realize themselves. So thank you so much. So anybody else, friends, wants to share? All right. So wonderful. So friends, thank you for being here today, and please keep reading the books of these masters, and we will be learning about many masters in the coming days whenever we have free time or whenever the slots are free. So till then, till we meet next time, have a great day or a great evening. Namaste to all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Malti.
Thank you, Madhu ma'am.
Thank you.